From Hollywood superhero genetics to playing schoolyard games, is Jon Jones really scared of Stipe Miocic? Jon "Bones" Jones is one of the best mixed martial artists on the planet, and many argue he's the greatest of all time. Since his first professional fight in 2008, he's been crushing opponents in ways we haven't seen before. Maybe that isn't too surprising since his family genetics are out of a Hollywood superhero movie. His older brother Arthur played 8 seasons in the NFL as a defensive end and won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens in 2012. Jon's younger brother Chandler plays defensive end for the Las Vegas Raiders, and his career is littered with awards and achievements, including a 2014 Super Bowl victory as a member of the New England Patriots, 2 first-team All-Pro selections, 4 Pro Bowl selections, and he was named to the NFL 2010's All-Decade Team. Every brother got bigger and more athletic somehow. Arthur is the shortest of the boys, standing a mere 6 foot 3 inches tall, weighing in at 280 pounds, while Chandler stands 6 foot 6 inches and weighs 235 pounds. Jon's 6 foot 4 inch frame falls in the middle, and he weighs about 250 pounds. Jon's competitive edge began at home, long before he got into mixed martial arts, and that shows in the ring. In a 2014 interview, Arthur claimed that he could handle his world champion brother in the ring. "I can whoop his butt, it's no secret." I'm sure Jon thinks there's no one that can beat him, and he might just be right. To date, his only loss was by disqualification to Matt Hamill way back in 2009, and he's breezed through many of his fights. But has he dominated the best of the best, or has he ducked out on tough fights? The answer is simple. Absolutely not. Of his 29 professional MMA fights, 16 of them have been title fights. An incredible number. And he's taken on all comers. Jones first won the UFC light heavyweight title at UFC 128 in Newark, New Jersey, when he overwhelmed MMA legend Mauricio "Shogun" Hua, stopping him in the 3rd round after a barrage of punches and knees. Jon's dance card kept filling up with killers, and before 2011 ended, he defeated Quinton "Rampage" Jackson by rear naked choke at UFC 135 in September, and wasted no time getting back in the ring, defeating former light heavyweight champ Lyoto Machida in December at UFC 140 after locking in a guillotine choke in the 2nd round. In 9 short months, Bones had become champion and added 2 successful defenses to his resume. And it had been less than 3 years since he made his professional debut. He was a beast in the cage, and he continued to prove it, defeating Rashad Evans and submitting Vitor Belfort in 2012. He was cruising through every contender in the division until UFC 165, when he faced Alexander Gustafsson. Gustafsson was able to get to Jones and keep the fight close, with some people claiming that he actually won the fight. But at the end of the 5th round, Jones had his hand raised in victory once again, earning a unanimous decision from the judges and setting the light heavyweight record with his 6th consecutive title defense. He was looking more unbeatable with every fight, and the world was wondering what it would take for him to be challenged. That question was soon answered, and after his 7th consecutive successful title defense against Glover Teixeira at UFC 172, the stage was set for a super fight against former heavyweight champion Daniel D.C. Cormier. Cormier was the former Strikeforce heavyweight champion and made his UFC light heavyweight debut at UFC 170. After just one heavyweight fight against Roy Nelson at UFC 166. Jones and Cormier first met in 2010 after UFC 121, and there was immediate bad blood. According to Cormier, their first ever exchange went like this. He looked down on me and started to make derogatory comments towards me, talking about how he could take me down easy and stuff. "You don't even know who I am, guy." This was exactly what Jon and UFC newcomer Cormier needed to fuel the fire for their eventual showdown in the octagon, and it paid off when they met at UFC 182. Jones was supposed to have a rematch with Gustafsson, but he pulled out with a knee injury, and Cormier was next man up, going the full 5 rounds with Jones, but coming up short. Jones won a unanimous decision, with all three judges scoring it 49-46. And it won Fight of the Night honors. Jones was doing whatever it took inside the cage to be the best champion he could be. But outside the ring, things were starting to unravel for the superstar. After the fight with Cormier, it was revealed that he failed a drug test prior to the fight, testing positive for cocaine, and he entered rehab. It wasn't a good look for Jones, who had all the lights shining on him. And the lights got even brighter in April 2015 when he was stripped of his title and suspended indefinitely by the UFC for his involvement in a hit-and-run accident in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Jones turned himself over to police on April 27th and was released on a $2,500 bond. But he was facing felony charges after fleeing the scene of the accident, an accident that left a pregnant woman in the hospital with a broken arm. Jones wasn't scared to face anyone in the ring, but he was running from his responsibilities outside of it. And he left Dana White with no choice but to discipline his pound-for-pound champion and golden boy, saying, "For us to go in and have to strip him of his title and suspend him is not fun. But you know what they say, the show must go on." And on July 29, 2017, it did. Jones re-entered the octagon for a rematch with Cormier, and he was in top form once again, stopping Cormier with a head kick and a barrage of punches. But Jones was stripped of his title once again after testing positive for a banned substance, and the fight was declared a no contest. He came back and defeated Gustafsson in a rematch, winning the vacant title, and defended it 3 more times before vacating the title and walking away from the sport, posting on his Twitter account, "I hurt myself every time I walk out there and take a punch to the head and not feeling my pay is worth it anymore." Once again, Jones was the subject of controversy until he returned in 2023 for his heavyweight debut, a title fight with Cyril Gane at UFC 285. It was very anticlimactic as Jones won by guillotine choke 2 minutes into the first round. Jones was back, and he was the heavyweight champion. So what was on the agenda? Calling out Stipe Miocic, of course. Jones opened his Twitter app and wasted no time calling out Stipe, claiming that the former heavyweight champ had been ducking him. Jones said, "Yo, Stipe, only you, the UFC, and I know the truth. You dodged me all of 2022, July, September, and December. Now, I'm hearing rumors that we may not be fighting this July. Bro, it's simple. Either you believe in yourself or you don't. Either you want this challenge or you don't. Stop wasting everyone's time." I'd say that qualifies as shots fired, and Stipe fired right back on his Twitter account, posting a photoshopped promotional poster for a Jones versus Miocic heavyweight title bout with the comment, "See you in July." That was on March 16, and since then, things have heated up. Miocic has claimed that UFC President Dana White is waffling on their agreement to get the fight done. Dana has blamed Miocic, suggesting that he hasn't fought in a while and needs time to get in shape, pouring fuel on the fire. And then the flames got even bigger when White went to the Pat McAfee show and suggested it was Jon Jones who was being difficult to negotiate with, causing Stipe to fire back on Twitter, of course, saying, "Weird, because last month you said I was the one running." Stipe certainly doesn't seem intimidated, calling Jones a big boy, but not to judge a book by its cover. So is Jon Bones Jones running from a fight? Dana said Jon disappeared after the Gane fight, and he'll set up a fight with Stipe when Jon is ready. Jon says he's ready and hasn't been officially offered a fight, and says Stipe is the one who's scared. So they're playing a version of the I'm rubber, you're glue schoolyard game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So from playing schoolyard games to Hollywood superhero genetics, is Jon Jones really scared of Stipe Miocic?